Doodle Cookie, how are you? Y'all, I slept so good. I know I said I was going to take a day off, but I woke up with this desire to work out. So we're going to the gym, but I want to talk to you guys about Austin Metcalf because this case is crazy. So it's currently going on. Um, I don't even know where to begin. Do I begin with teaching your kids safety when they are doing sports in school? Do I start with the whole race card that's being played by the black community? Do I start with, it's just so. Let me just start with the premises of the story of what is going on with Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, I think is his last name. Austin Metcalf was a white 17-year-old high school boy who went to a track meet and was stabbed in the heart 2 days ago. He was killed by another student on high school grounds at a track meet. I think the most horrific thing is that Austin Metcalf, who was murdered, his twin brother, who he had a very, very, very deep connection with, these were twins. His twin brother was there and witnessed Austin getting stabbed. And he actually didn't see the stabbing. I'm going to tell you the story about what happened, but Austin's brother was there when he was stabbed, and his brother held him as he bled out and died in his arms at this track meet. And I just need to reiterate that these are children. These are 17-year-old boys. These are children, okay? I know everybody wants to put all of this pressure on young people to act and behave like adults, but these were 17-year-old boys at a track meet, and one of them did not come home because another one stabbed him in the heart at the track meet. I mean, it's literally the most horrifying thing that I can think of as a parent, to send your kid to play a sport and they never come home because they get murdered, literally murdered at that sport event. It's horrific. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Lewis, Brenton. So, Austin Metcalf was actually a very good student. He was a great sportsman, and he had a history of being a good student. He didn't have any problems. There was no problems in his background, in his juvenile history. We don't see anything of any concern when it comes to Austin Metcalf. He was not a problematic child. He was not confrontational. He's not the type of kid that would go to a track meet and look for a problem. Do you get what I'm saying? Austin Metcalf was not the type of kid to go to a track meet and start problems. So it's Austin, his twin brother, they go for this track meet. And there are all of these tents that are lined up down the field of this track meet. Carmelo Anthony was also supposed to be at this track meet. I guess now is a good time to talk about race because it's imperative to the story. So Austin Metcalf is a white boy. Carmelo Anthony is a black guy. He's also 17. These are children. I just need to keep saying that these are children. That's the most concerning part, is that children could even behave this way. It really goes to show how technology is rotting their brains. Carmelo Anthony was found under Austin and his brother's tent. Austin walks up to Carmelo and says, this isn't your tent. This is so-and-so's school's tent. He was under the wrong tent for the track meet. So Austin says, you're in the wrong place, and matter of fact, you're in my seat. Carmelo immediately goes into defense mode, refuses to move out of his seat, and he says, touch me and see what happens. Touch me and see what happens. So immediately, we can already tell that Carmelo was the instigator. He was trying to start something with Austin. He was looking for a reason to get angry, to get hostile, to stab somebody in the heart at a track meet. This is absolutely a parental problem. This is why discipline and direction and guidance is so important. I don't know who's been raising Carmelo Anthony, but he needs the death penalty. This is a death penalty case for a 17-year-old. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because of the evil intent. So, Austin says to Carmelo, you need to move. You're under the wrong tent. And Carmelo immediately starts talking extremely reckless, cussing, telling Austin, touch me, bro. I'll fuck you up. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Austin then proceeded to pick up Carmelo's book bag to move it so that he could put his property where it belongs, because once again, Carmelo is under the wrong tent. If you're playing high school professional sports, don't you think that you've been redirected a few times? Hasn't your coach told you, oh, no, not that gym, come to this gym? I don't understand why this boy was looking for such a damn problem, this Carmelo Anthony, because he absolutely was. When you are playing organized sports, you're going to be redirected quite a bit. People are going to tell you every day, oh, no, don't do it that way, do it this way. You're doing that wrong, do it this way. And Austin and his twin brother were simply trying to help Carmelo find his tent. And this piece of shit, I don't care that he's 17. If he wants to act like an adult, I'm going to treat him like an adult. This piece of shit proceeds to pull out a knife and stab Austin in the chest, right through the heart. Right through the heart. His twin brother sees the commotion and comes running over to Austin and halfway scoops his body off the ground as he is bleeding out through his heart. And he dies right in his twin brother's arms at a fucking track meet. I mean, it's absolutely worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. You sent your two twin sons to go to a track meet and one of them doesn't come home. And this little shit, Carmelo Anthony, let's talk about his history, because I find it very funny that he has a long history of being problematic. Once again, as I originally said, this is a parental problem. Carmelo doesn't have any family. See, Carmelo has family, but his family doesn't raise him. They don't guide him. They don't teach him. And that's why he's in jail. And that's why hopefully he will be looking at the death penalty, because his failed parents have led him to jail because he stabbed an innocent boy named Austin in the heart at a track meet because he couldn't handle being wrong. He couldn't handle being wrong. He was in the wrong tent, in the wrong seat. And Austin said, buddy, this ain't your seat. This ain't your tent. And this kid stabs him in the heart. This kid has a long history of being problematic online. He tries to act like he's gang affiliated. He tries to act like he's Billy Badass. He has been looking for a problem for a very long time. Very, very long time. He went to that track meet looking for drama. Looking for drama. And then when he found it, he decides to stab this poor boy in the heart. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and tell you guys that everybody in that school knew that Carmelo Anthony was a problem. And I'm talking about educators and principals. They knew that that boy was a problem. He's in jail, by the way. Austin is in heaven, but Carmelo is in jail where he needs to be and he needs to stay. And matter of fact, he needs the death penalty. This is inexcusable. This kid, this Carmelo Anthony, it is no excuse because your childhood is horrible, it is no excuse to kill somebody because your childhood and your upbringing and your parents were not there for you. And that's what it stems down to. These two households are completely different. Completely different. Austin came from a loving family with strong family ties, okay? They were a very strong family. His twin brother, very normal upbringing. Carmelo, completely opposite. Carmelo is the side effects of not having parental guidance in life. It's a miracle that I'm not Carmelo because I didn't have any parental guidance either, so I understand. But we have choices in life. You can choose to be a shitty human and go down a really fucked up road and treat people like shit, or you can be a decent human and treat people with respect. I've always took the road of respect. This kid was looking for a problem, and he wanted to kill Austin because he was jealous of Austin. It's sad. It's really sad. But he was looking for a problem, and he found one. So since he wanted a problem, now he can have the electric chair. You know? Carmelo Anthony is a prime example of what George Floyd is. Okay? He would have been living George Floyd's life in 20 years. 100%, statistically speaking. There's a 99.9% probability that he would have been living just like George Floyd in 20 years. Ain't it crazy, though? Because let me tell you something. People are outraged that this kid is in jail. They're outraged because he's in jail. But if he was white, then they'd want him in jail. What is wrong with people? Because I feel like I live in the twilight every single fucking day. This was blatant murder. This kid was stabbed in the heart intentionally. This kid wanted to stab someone. Carmelo Anthony had been looking to harm someone. It's very clear from his social media history online that he was not only aggressive, but he was looking to become a felon. Yeah, he wanted to be a felon. That's what his social media shows. And granted, the poor kid ain't had no guidance, but I didn't have no guidance, and I ain't never done some shit like that. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And, you know, of course, the black community, BLM, is outraged that this black kid is in jail. Sorry, he stabbed somebody in the heart. And not only just somebody, an actual athlete that was going places. This kid was an honor roll student. Everything that Carmelo wasn't. It was jealousy that killed Austin. Carmelo was jealous of this fucking kid, and he got butthurt when this kid told him that he was under the wrong tent. That hurt his pride. That was too much for him, and he had to do something about it. And he did. He killed Austin. Good morning. No, not the basketball player. They just have the same name. Good morning, Shakita. I think I'm saying that right. Hey, Beth. Lewis. Yeah, everybody's like mad that this kid is in jail. He literally told Austin before he stabbed him, he said, "Come at me, bro, I'll kill you," or something, or I'll fuck you up, or something like that. So he was literally threatening Austin and looking for a problem. It's like, how can I explain it? The LGB and the black community are very similar because they dig their toes in despite evidence and reality. And they are only concerned about having their own communities back rather than having some self-respect and being right. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like the LGBT and the black community. I'm talking about BLM, sexual harassment. God, I can't wait till they won't be able to do that and they'll get arrested for saying shit like that, because we'll get there one day. We're already halfway there. If they're able to trace IP addresses like they're doing now, then we'll get there one day. So the black community and the LGBTQ+, it doesn't matter what anyone in their community does, they still have their community back, even if that person from that community was absolutely wrong. And I just want people to know that When you support shit like this, that makes you just as bad as Carmelo. That tells me that you're the type of person that would stab somebody in the heart and think that that's normal. An honors student that had his whole life ahead of him at that. This is the side effects of parents not being parents. And Carmelo is going to spend the rest of his life, if not see the electric chair, for killing Austin Metcalf at this meet. And it's because he didn't have any parents raising him. I don't even need to know who his parents were. I saw the social media. I saw his track record. This case is a perfect example of children who grow up in a loving home as opposed to children who grow up by the internet. Because that's who was raising Carmelo. TikTok. That's who was raising Carmelo. It wasn't his parents. They were nowhere to be seen in sight. But the black community takes offense to that. And that's why they get butthurt. That's why they get butthurt. So I get it. I see both sides because I'm from all communities. Let's not forget. But it's crazy to me how certain communities, despite the evidence, they will still dig their toes into the sand and act like someone from their community wasn't problematic in a certain scenario. They did the same thing with George Floyd, remember? Remember George Floyd, the one that died from a drug overdose after he was committing felonies, after he was already a felon? Remember that guy? Yeah, just like George Floyd. Remember how they burned shit to the ground? The precincts, remember? All in the name of a lie. George Floyd died from a drug overdose. It's proven. It's on autopsy. There's no discussing it. I get sick of having these debates with people, okay? George Floyd's death was George Floyd's fault. He shouldn't have been fucking around. He found out. Very similar cases, and I find it interesting. So the black community is having, of course, the black guys back, and everybody else with common sense and rationale is praying for Austin and his family at this time, because Austin went to play sports. He didn't go to die. This is really a combination of culture, a lack of parental raising, a lack of guidance. I mean, this is just so many issues. Carmelo Anthony is absolutely the problem. He deserves to be in an electric chair, if not get lethal injection. He's a horrible person who went to a track meet to harm someone. That's what he went to do. He didn't go to play sports. He went there looking for a problem. He already had a knife in his pocket. Oh. You're at a track meet to play sports with your friends, but you got a knife in your pocket? I forgot about that part. Yeah. Need I say more? I don't think so. You're about to run track. Anybody that knows anything about track knows that you don't want anything in your pockets weighing you down. So why did Carmelo Anthony have a knife in his pocket at this track meet? If he didn't want smoke, if he didn't go there to kill nobody, then why is he strapped up in a high school track meet? Because he came there looking for a problem. And he found one. And why do kids have weapons in high school anyways? It's really baffling to me how people can't see things for what they are because they're too blinded by their own lies and beliefs, their delusional beliefs. If this boy would have been a black boy getting killed by a white guy, if the roles were reversed, shit would be being burned in the streets right now. I'm sick of the double standard. Regardless of race, neither one of them kids deserve to die, and neither one of them should be in jail right now. It's a parental issue. Where was his parents? Great question. Great question. Still don't know. Still don't know. No, that's right. You heard me. Still don't know. So that tells me he was fucking raising himself. Still don't know where the parents are. Hello, can I speak to Carmelo Anthony's parents, please? Yes, he killed another person at a track meet at 17 years old. Yeah, so we're going to need to speak to his parents, please. Where are they? Exactly where they were when he was at that track meet alone. Non-existent. Probably the same place they've been for the past 17 years of his life. Non-existent. Raising him from afar through his grandmother's sister's brother's uncle's cousin. I feel bad for the twin brother that had to watch his brother die. He said he turned back around, and Austin was on the ground bleeding out from his heart. Who stabs someone in the heart without the intent to kill? The reason that he would qualify for first degree is because he showed up to a high school track meet with a knife on him. That shows intent. Also, the state of agitation that he was in and the way that he escalated the situation by talking senseless and screaming and shouting profanities, he was looking for smoke. It's absolutely crazy the way that people are raising their children. I saw a whole car full of people yesterday fucking blaring some kind of rap music talking about vaginas and weed with 4 baby children in the back seat. That music was so loud it hurt my ears from standing outside of the car. And there are 4 little baby squirrels in the back seat getting blasted by speaker boxes as their parents, who were clearly intoxicated, were erratic as hell. I saw this at the park. People like that can have children. People like, Carmelo Anthony's parents can have children. Just remember that. It's just crazy. So I'm headed to the gym. I mean, it's a prime example of jealousy and how a lack of self-confidence can lead people to commit horrible acts. Okay, that was horrible, but it was absolutely jealousy. And I just don't understand how the general public can't see things for what they are. It's just like I film a video, we watch the same video, and we have all these different perspectives, but we watch the same video. It's like, how do you not see he punched her in the face? Yeah, well, she was running her mouth though. Okay, but that doesn't mean that she deserves to get punched in the face. The law is the law, and you don't have the right to put your hands on anybody. But if they do, you fucking leave them where they lie, bitch. After you damn whoop their ass. But you don't have the right to put your hands on anybody. But there's still people that their morals and their values have been manipulated and believing that they can behave a certain way, and so they truly feel that way. They're like, oh, well, if somebody runs their mouth to me, then I can just pop them upside the head. This is a societal problem. Huge. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And what is right? Well, it comes from the Bible. We got these 10 commandments. It's pretty basic shit. I mean, unless you got an IQ lower than, 60. It's pretty basic shit. I don't make the rules. Everything that I talk about is centered around God's word. And I base my beliefs off of his word. Carmelo Anthony was absolutely wrong in this entire scenario. Anyone that says otherwise is delusional. And you probably need to be in a mental hospital in a padded jacket, because 1000%, if you can't see how Austin ended up dead out of jealousy, you're not a very smart adult. You're not. Sure not. Sure not. They were polar opposites. And so were their upbringings and the way that they were being raised. Polar opposites. And you're still here listening. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please give me a like so I can make some money. Thank you. There's always some pervert. They teach their daughters how to twerk before walk. I know. I'm aware. I saw the whole daycare video. Hands on my knees. Hands on my knees. I know. Where am I? I can't do nothing when I'm on live, because I'm talking. So, like, my mind is on what we're talking about. And not all black families raise their daughters like that. But it's in the culture, absolutely. It's absolutely in the culture. And it's a generational thing. Because where I grew up, you would never see, where I grew up in Alamance County, you would never see people behaving that way down in southern Alamance County. Black, white, Chinese, Asian, they don't give a fuck. They ain't gonna behave that way and teach their children to disrespect themselves in that manner, because that's what you're doing. You're conditioning your child to be a stripper when she's damn 15. Why else would you teach a child to behave that way, to twerk? I mean, and maybe it's unbeknownst to women that allow their children to dance provocatively. Maybe it's unbeknownst to them, but that's absolutely what you're doing. You're conditioning your child to be promiscuous. Through dance. 1000%. I will debate this with anybody. It's sick. It's absolutely sick. Why would anybody want to see a toddler acting like a grown-ass adult? And these bitches post it on the internet like it's cute. And they call them good mamas. And then the public claps like seals. And it's abuse. It's abuse. It's sexual abuse. It would fall under sexual abuse. To coerce your children to dance provocatively, to post to the internet. That's sexual abuse. Not having these discussions with people that allow their children to behave that way. I just know what I know is true. It's sick. And they're absolutely conditioning and grooming children. Maybe, like I said, it's unbeknownst to them. Maybe they're so ignorant that they don't realize what they're doing, which is 90% of the case, 90% of the time. You know what I mean? That's why most people behave the way that they do, because they're ignorant. They don't realize that there's a better way to life, that things could be better. I get it. But I just want young mothers to know what you're doing. You are conditioning and grooming your child to be promiscuous and to act unladylike in the future when you are teaching them to be vulgar at a very young age. You are creating you're creating a monster and you don't even know it yet. But give it 10 years, Becky, when she's sneaking out the house and pregnant at 14. Yeah. Oh, God, but I'm the child abuser, right? I don't understand how shit got so backwards sometimes, y'all, but it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, poor Austin did not deserve to be stabbed over a seating arrangement dispute. I mean, imagine losing your life because you can't sit in your seat and you tell somebody, hey buddy, this is my seat, and they just start, I'll kill you right now, touch me, I'll fuck you up, touch me. And then out of nowhere, you get stabbed in the heart by the crazy son of a bitch that said he was going to kill you. Right in front of your twin brother. And then he has to hold your dead body as you bleed out. And you're 17! You know, this kid, Carmelo Anthony, didn't just ruin Austin's life. He literally ruined that entire family's life. Austin's family. His twin brother had his best friend stolen from him right in front of his eyes. I don't understand what is fucking wrong with people out here to think that Carmelo Anthony had any right to do that. Anyone caught saying that Carmelo Anthony was defending himself, they need to be behind bars too, because they're not all there, okay? Plain and simple. They're not there, okay? They've checked out. There's nothing but air up there, honey, okay? So they need to be arrested as well, because this is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. So what's the question? Did Austin put his hand on Carmelo? The answer is no. So why was Austin stabbed? There's no other questions after that. That's the death penalty. The only question is did Austin touch Carmelo Anthony? And the answer is no. So that means that Anthony needs to go to prison and be killed. Plain and simple. There's no more questions after that. That is the only question when we are talking about this case that matters. Did Austin touch Carmelo Anthony? No. Okay. Then we have a death penalty case. Because he went there with the intention of harming someone. Otherwise, why did he have a knife in his pocket at a track meet? And everybody wants to turn everything into fucking race. This ain't about race. This is about parental guidance and the lack thereof. All families are suffering right now. Parents are spread so fucking thin trying to keep up with the damn inflation that they're incapable of sometimes being there to raise their children properly. I get it. This is not a crack on parents who don't spend time with their children. I just want to point out the differences in these two families. Austin Metcalf come from a very stable, quote-unquote, normal family. Honor roll student, tons of sports, played football, he played everything. Carmelo Anthony, complete utter opposite. Complete utter opposite. You know, he's not being raised. His parents are missing. He's in and out of problems in high school. His social media page showed him carrying guns, creating vulgar content. These kids were complete polar opposites. Complete polar opposites. And ego and a lack of parental guidance is what got Austin killed. Not his ego. No. It was Carmelo's ego. You know, he just couldn't take that he was wrong. He couldn't take that he was in the wrong fucking chair under the wrong fucking tent. He couldn't handle it. It was too much. You know why? Because nobody's ever told him no before. See, that's what happens when you don't get raised by parents. You can't handle society. He could not take that he was wrong under the wrong tent. And he had to do something about it so it'd help his ego and his pride. So I have an Arrow, you dipshit. I like to just got in a car accident with a fucking Mercedes. I have a green Arrow. I went to go and he ran the red light. Anyways, yeah, crazy case. I just it annoys me how they want to turn everything into a fucking race war, and it's not a race war. This is a parental war. How old are you? Under 18? Where's your parents? Great question. I haven't seen them all day. Yeah, my point exactly. You know it's bad. You know the parental guidance and the lack thereof parental figures are bad in the West when McDonald's has to put a sign on their door in New York that says, have to be 21 to even come in and eat. because so many parents drop their kids off at McDonald's like it's the daycare for teenagers, and those hellions, that's what they are, those hellions go in there and destroy the McDonald's. And whose job is it to watch these children? Oh, it's the McDonald's staff now. Parents not raising their children, and it pisses me off because I don't get that opportunity, because remember, I'm the child abuser, right? I'm not, but I just, humor, dark humor. I'm going to do this for the next 40 years if I have to. I'm going to point out these inconsistencies and all these great parents out here, since I don't get the opportunity to be a great parent. It's just crazy to me how this has turned into a race war when this kid didn't do anything wrong. Now, we don't know the context of how Austin said, hey, dude, you're under the wrong tent. For all we know, Austin walked up and said, hey, you dipshit, you're under the wrong fucking tent, you dummy. We don't know. It doesn't appear that Austin was antagonizing Carmelo. It appears that Carmelo was the instigator and that he was actually looking for smoke. And his social media pages confirm that. He's standing there with guns. He is 17. He ain't supposed to have no guns. I didn't know if I needed to say that, but this is the West, so yeah, he's not supposed to have no guns. Standing there like he's all Billy Badass. How you Billy Badass in jail now, honey? Let me know how that works out for you. Austin had a full life ahead of him. Full life. And now he's about to be buried. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, imagine sending your kid off to a track meet or a football game or a baseball game, and then you get called from the EMS and they're like, hey, your son was stabbed in the heart. And you're like, he was at a fucking track meet. How did he get stabbed in the heart? That's what happened. That is exactly what happened to Austin. And it's so sad. In my opinion, there's a lot of jealousy stemming from this incident. Like I said, pride. I don't know. Maybe not jealousy. Let me take that back. I think it was a lot of pride and egos in the mix. I think that these kids were throwing their ego, high school selves around. You know how it is when you're a kid and there's all these other kids around, and like, they were sitting beside the bleachers, and it was a whole bunch of tents for a track meet, and Carmelo had went under the wrong tent, and Austin said, you're under the wrong tent. This is so-and-so's high school. This is not your high school. And Carmelo got mad that Austin told him that he was in the wrong spot for the meet. And so that's ego. To take it to that level because you can't handle being wrong or you've been told to move, that's a psychological problem that will never go away. He has a problem. Carmelo Anthony has a problem with authority. He has a problem being wrong, and his ego will constantly hold him back, this will never get better. He's non-reformable because of the lack of parental guidance, and then his ego, and then the need to want and kill. Yes. Listen to what I'm telling you. This kid went there with the intent of getting in a fight that day. His social media verifies that. So he went there looking for smoke. He didn't care who he hurt. He just wanted to hurt somebody. And this comes from a lack of parental guidance. It comes from cell phones, raising your children, listening to rap music nonstop. Yes, it changes the chemistry in your brain, honey. It does, it does, it does. Recently, I haven't been listening to a lot of rap because of that, because I noticed that it makes me angrier and I want to punch people in the face that piss me off. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, they never put their hands on me, so I never get the opportunity. But anyways, yeah, this whole Austin Metcalf thing is really sad. I think I feel the worst for his brother and his family, because it seems like they were all extremely close. And even the father of Austin has come out stating that he forgives Carmelo for stabbing his son in the heart and killing him on the track. It was like 2 days ago, fam. It ain't been 2 years, 20 years. For that father to come out, for that father to come out and say that he forgives Carmelo Anthony for killing Austin, he a better one than me, fam. He a better one than me. All I know is I'd be in that courthouse screaming, "Where's your parents?" I want to see the parents. You know what I mean? These are 17-year-old boys. Where is Carmelo Anthony's parents? Because I want to see the parents. You know what I mean? As an adult, as if Austin Metcalf was my son and they were arraigning Carmelo Anthony for stabbing my son on the day of arraignment, I'm going to be grateful that they got Carmelo up there in front of a judge. But my first question is where is his fucking parents? You know what I mean? I'm getting close for the gym if you're wondering what I'm doing. Close for the gym. Sorry, let me go back. Anyone not, how can I say this? We don't do retracted messages on this channel. I know that YouTube allows it, but I would expect you guys to act like adults if you're over here and say it to my face if you have something to say. So we don't do retracted messages on this channel. Also, anyone caught being perverted or saying anything perverted, I'm just going to block, because that's not what I'm here for. I actually have a personality. Hello, I'm Brooke. I don't need to show my feet to a bunch of perverts to survive. Thank you. If I was going to do that, I'd be in a strip club. George Floyd is drug-free. Jesus Christ. You can't make this shit up. I mean, that's, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people have all of this misinformation and they don't even know the facts. And it's kind of crazy that the general, like, why doesn't the media talk about the truth of, you know, COVID coming out of Wuhan or George Floyd dying from drug overdose? Why don't they tell us the truth? It's crazy. Makes me so mad. And we already know the truth because other outlets have told us the truth, and that's how we know the truth about these things. But why did they not broadcast it when we found this information out, is my point. I was wondering if I wanted to swim today. They have a pool, a sauna, they got everything, y'all. Everything. It's so nice. They don't have tanning, but I probably don't need that because I'm in the Florida heat anyways. So, but they do. They have everything. What is on the list today? I have a personal training appointment in the morning. Where is... Today is Sunday, so they have a cycle class. What time is it? Oh, that's in like 30 minutes. And then they have a Zumba class. Huh. Not bad, you know? Yeah, for sure. You're right. That's great answer. You're right. You're right. What is that? I gotta put this bra on, y'all. Not me getting dressed at my new gym right in the middle of the fucking parking lot when they have locker rooms. Yes, because I don't want to walk in there with no bra on. Damn, I just got deodorant. It's fine. I'm going to be wearing a pump shirt anyways. I don't walk around like a slut at the gym. I don't go to the gym for other people's validation. You can always tell the women that go for themselves as opposed to women that go for attention. Women that have their ass all hanging out and doing weird ass shit on the Smith machine with their ass in the air, they're looking for attention. Girls like me that wear pump covers, we don't want your attention. We don't need it. We're happy inside. Yep. We're not seeking validation from every stranger in the gym, honey. Tell you the difference in the girls, because that's a big one. And there's a lot of prostitutes that go to the gym. They look for clients there. Fun fact, just like restaurants. It's their whole job to look like a slut and walk around the gym and try to talk to men so that they can make money. It's crazy. I'm wondering if I'm going to shower here or... Do I even have anything to wear? I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. These socks are a little big, but it's okay. Good morning, Jijo. It doesn't matter who was there for what. I don't care if Austin was there to play fucking space cadet with Marvin the Martian and Carmelo was there for a track meet. It doesn't matter. What is the first question? Let me reiterate. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back. Did Austin, the only question that is important in this entire case, did Austin touch Carmelo? No. Okay, well then that means Carmelo needs to go to prison for the rest of his life. You're missing the point, and this is my problem with society. Don't miss the point. The point is by law, Carmelo had no legal right to stab Anthony in the chest. The point is that Anthony never put his hands on Carmelo, nor even said a cross word to the boy. He didn't even cuss at Carmelo. And Carmelo unsheathed his knife and stabbed him in the chest. Because that's what he went there for. Because otherwise, why would a track athlete need a fucking knife at a fucking athlete meet? Some of y'all are so dumb. Not all of y'all. I love my regular followers. Love you guys. Love you guys. But some of y'all that are new really be missing the point out here. There is no other questions or debate after question A. What is question A? Let's do it again. Did Austin assault and or put his hands on Carmelo Anthony? No, he didn't. End of discussion. There's no other discussion after that. There's nothing to talk about after that question is answered. Do you get it? Do you get it? End of discussion. Love you guys. I'm going to work out. Y'all have a great day. Happy Sunday. Pray for me because God knows I need it. And I'm praying for you guys. Bye, y'all. Love y'all.